Welcome back from the meditation. I wanted to share with you something that I understood about my mission and my superpower, and share a few learnings, the best I've come across in my life, and then make an invitation to something cool. I feel like there are two questions always nagging in the head. One is, I feel like I'm not meeting expectations that I have of myself, of my life. Like it could be more, it could be bigger. I see people that do this, that do that, that are like that, like this, that I look up to. I feel like why am I not there? And then the second one is, it feels like the moment in time that we live in is somehow special. Like somehow something weird about it. Like all these tech companies and social networks appearing and so fast, and now AI, and like what is that going on there? And I have found some really important information about the both. And hence my mission is to share the best maps of human development, make them available to any human being. And my superpower is very much that. The best thing that I do is to explore, look for the most important things, then to understand them and to create like a mental structure of it, to be able to then explain it and hence teach it to other people. And maps of human development is a concept that is really cool. It basically means that it's like a map, a real map of territory. Like we moved to Amsterdam and we didn't know Amsterdam, so learning the map now allows me to understand that, okay, there is that neighborhood there in that direction. If I take my bicycle and go there, I get there. So knowing the map, having that map inside of my head, because I don't like look at it, it's just inside of my head, makes me able to navigate the city much better with no Google Maps or Alphabet. It's a map. Somebody tells us, hey, there is this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then once you learn it, with a little bit of effort, you can read. And all of the written stuff of humanity opens up to you. That's a very powerful map. So the idea of a map is that it's a key. Once you internalize that structure, it makes it not hidden. Like you're aware, and you then can do stuff and learn stuff. Okay, so there is that first concept. And then the second concept is that something is happening, right? And just to add to the first one, so psychologists and everybody who studies human development know that there is no cap to it. So it can be, there is no point, but there is a lot of movement that we all are able to do. But sometimes we get stuck. So that greatness is actually a point. Greatness, I mean, it's just we have to choose a word to describe that, but scientists and people in different spheres of knowledge have actually figured out, and Greek philosophers were speaking about that 2,500 years ago, about the same exact thing. And then there's like a sequence of things through the history that are talking about the same truths, just in different languages, and sometimes it becomes a religion, sometimes it becomes like a mystical school, sometimes it becomes a like esoteric movement, sometimes it's just somebody's like a crazy one out there, but in reality they're looking at the same truth. Okay, so that's the human development. There is something there that I'll explain what's that there. Now the second point is the moment in time. So we're living through a moment in time when two singularities are happening. So what does that all mean? So let's start with the one that is easier to explain, which is the technological singularity. There's some technical work that is being done on my phone to put it to charge. Thank you. Okay, so technological singularity. For those of you that haven't heard about it, it means that technology and progress actually overall, because a lot of it's driven by technology, is accelerating at how it's growing. So not only it grows linearly, that would be linear growth, right? doubles, then 4 times, then 6, then 8 times, etc. But we're talking about exponential, so it grows slowly, 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 and then boom, goes into the sky. And that is happening with any technology. So every year, the rate of progress is growing at exponential rate. So we're seeing a literal singularity of progress. Progress is becoming some kind of a vertical thing very soon. Many people that I respect the most in this field say 2045, which is kind of soon, which is like soon, like really soon, like in 20 years, in 25 years from now. And you can see it in everything. So there is this singularity. And then the most interesting thing is, of course, AI. Because AI, if you think about it, it's just the power of a mind. It's like, let's say that the human mind is here, okay? Human mind. It's processing power, let's say. Let's just simplify. And AI is not yet there, right? There is no general AI yet. But AI is already put, actually, to improve AI. AI is already working on improving itself already. So when it becomes as smart as a human being, then it just grows exponentially. That's just what it is. In the digital world, exponential laws apply in the internet, because there are no physical level at all. Like, it just doesn't exist in manifest reality. It's somewhere in the cloud. Okay, so there is that. And there is a second singularity. And the second singularity is that human development singularity, okay? So what is happening there is that, so that's our first singularity, and then our second singularity is that human development, humans evolve, right? So everything evolves, right? The universe evolves and becomes more complex and more orderly and more perfect, if you will. And humans do too. So there are very known stages of human development, 2 science and 2 philosophers, current philosophers like Ken Wilber, integral theory, that each next level transcends and includes. But there is something coming that is already emerging today that has not been yet seen to humanity as a species at all before in the past. And that is a singularity of consciousness. That is this human development that goes actually across 2 vectors, okay? 2 vectors of human development, 2 major vectors. One is the growing up vector, and one is the waking up vector. What's growing up and waking up? Okay, this is a big question, right? But before I go to explain each one of them, I want to say that they meet, actually. So it's more like, the 2 axes, waking up and growing up. And then a human being has both vectors, right? So they're somehow like developing somewhere. So then somewhere, there is a certain arbitrary point, because the evolution is endless. So there is a point where waking up and growing up meet at some level that usually is called enlightenment. Enlightenment, that's so hard to spell. Under pressure. So there is this point called enlightenment somewhere. It's arbitrary, but it's there, where these 2 waking up and growing up are at some kind of 100% or something like this. Okay, just speaking figuratively. And what happens? Well, what happens is that for the first time, this is a level that is just emerging in humanity right now, but it also has an exponential nature, how it spreads, okay, how information spreads through humans. So actually, not even more complex than that, because we're talking about social networks, and it's a network theory. So there are like, I don't even know what the mathematically correct way to say that would be. Okay, so they meet in some point where humans for the first time don't see other life from other human beings that are not on the same stage as they are, kind of on the previous stage, okay? Humans for the first time stop looking down at other forms of life, okay? And that starts with humans, that starts with just myself, okay? Like I'm looking down at everyone else. Nobody has the same internal world as I do, like, Then ethnocentric, so my tribe, yeah, they're the good guys, we're like family, blah, blah, and then others, no. Then the third one is everyone. Actually, you know what, on the planet, everyone is, we're humanity. And then the next level is, all kinds of humans actually, like there is a humanness that is unique to that is not unique, what's the word, like basic to all humans. And then that's the next level, and then you get to integral, where you don't see the levels below you as wrong, okay? You see them partially true, but missing out on the other parts of the truth. The whole idea of integral being whole. Okay, so there is that growing up point called integral that is thought to be like a big jump in evolution of humans. All psychologists call it tier 2 to differentiate from the previous levels where people look down at other levels, because the integral starts to include everything, including animals, all kinds of humans, then animals, then sentient life, then everything, just nature, even rocks, and feel that like we're the web of life, just living together. And and then waking up is waking up kind of to that, but through a different path of like how much we perceive in the world. So let's say that there is like a, I don't know, like periscope, like in a submarine, you know, there is this periscope they look into. So let's say that you're born, or not that you're born, but before you start moving up on the waking up vector, you're like looking through a periscope into life. So it's kind of hard to like listen to someone, but also realize that I'm thinking about something at the same time. Like it's just you're just closer to. If you're very if one is very low on the waking up, they're kind of closer and closer to where animals were, where our species was at some point, where you just react to what's out there. You don't choose your reaction. You just react. You're in reactive mode, survival mode. Very few humans there are in the world at that stage, but some are, and usually it's some unfortunate cases when they were born, with diseases, etc. And then at some point, how much I can perceive the resolution of with which I perceive reality, the world, where I stand. Oh, the colors of things, the sounds, what's happening inside of me, what's happening with my body, like all of that at the same time. So when that perception grows, and it's something studied by psychology, by neuroscience, by science really looks at this. This is nothing mystical and esoterical here yet. So there is that. It grows. Now the question is, where does it grow? And where it grows is realization that there is oneness, that this separation, that I am actually like a human, and then I do my thing and they do their thing. It gets substituted by the idea of oneness, that we are a web of life, that everything is interconnected. I don't just exist somewhere. I am linked to other human beings. It's almost impossible that I'm not. And in fact, this is crazy. In fact, I become what are the human beings that surround me. So if somebody would be like to study me and figure out everyone I ever get in touch with and speak to and for how long, and and maybe take some parameters, they would mathematically perfectly calculate my beliefs. And a lot of my ideas and a lot of my cultural, I've worked with big data and AI, that's possible. Yeah. And yeah, so in the same way, there is a web of life. Everything is interconnected. And if you think of Mowgli, that is now not connected to any human being, then they cannot be at human stages of development. If they had that lifestyle till teenage years or something, they cannot integrate into society anymore. So it's and if you're friends with like billionaires, if all you do is talk to billionaires, you go playing golf, well, chances are you're a billionaire. Anyways, and if you want to be a billionaire, that's the best thing to do if one wants to be a billionaire. Anyways, so we're moving on from this, and what we're moving on is to to the mission. The mission is there are certain maps of human development, such as this stuff that I shared with you, and I just gave a very high level, just few brief ideas. But there are maps like that. People know, humanity knows how humans grow up and wake up in great detail. It's all known, and they know how all those enlightenment states. What are the parameters, and how does such person behave and think, and how they go about life, and what's their I don't know, workout routine is and stuff like that. Like things change because as you grow up and wake up, then the body adapts to all the changes, of the brain adapts through the changes through neuroplasticity, and the body also learns. So you remember better how to breathe. You block less of your breath. You improve your posture because at some point you realize that it's not okay to have my organs squeezed like that. Is not okay, and also it's not okay for my self-image. Like this, what is inside of a person that is like this? What is inside of that person? It's all interconnected, right? So when there is growth on these stages, then the whole being just spreads the wings and just says, okay, no, I want to be just myself, and I don't need to be afraid of anyone. Like I just life is welcoming and friendly. There's no need to just like suspect that something's gonna happen. In some situations maybe that applies, but then your mind will be really quick to point that out. The whole mind, body, you'll know that there is something to be done urgently, and that's just an understanding that will arrive. Okay, so there is that. I want to just finish this in a minute. Before I do, I want to say that I've mapped really cool maps of human development, and the way it works is that as soon as you get an idea like that there is a meta skill or a meta vector of human development, such as the waking up and the growing up paths, just that information becomes psychoactive. You start noticing, you have new beliefs in your head. You're like, oh, I'm growing, huh? Oh, there is no cap to that. Oh, I can be, not I can be, but I can be much more of what I already am, They start working on your psyche, and this is great stuff. And there are other maps that work on other parts of life, just getting rid of the fears and getting rid of the stories and getting rid of the past cassettes caused by emotional trauma, shedding that stuff, shedding identities, attachments, just like cleaning up, and those maps, waking up and how exactly to get to walk that path known as the spiritual path. That's a whole topic in and of itself. I feel like part of my mission is to be some enabler for people with very strong minds that they've built a brick wall. So everything that could be perceived by anyone as pseudoscience is like there's a brick wall. You can't break that wall to like even say, hey, there is this psychology and science behind it. And, you know, or also people, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs are like that. They've had success, so they're like, okay, I know how to do things, so don't tell me how to do things. I'll be deciding at every moment in time how to do things. And then it's again like brick wall. So anyways, so there is really cool stuff to do there to explain that this actually exists, and it's something that one should be open to and look into, and because that's a Pandora's box that is just endless. And there is stuff on traumas. I have created maps how to map all your traumas and then see how that influences your life. And there is a lot of work that we've been doing on the superpowers and on Enneagram. Enneagram is a personality testing, so there is like a lot. There's almost like a canvas of who you are, like of a role that you play in this life, almost like a computer game hero comes, and then they have, you know, this much dexterity or strength or magic or something, and then humans are just like that. We're types. We're very unique, but and very intricate, but types, same thing. And then science also have identified what types of humans there are in terms of their behavior and psychology and non-physical part, and which is actually reflected. Everything is interrelated. It's reflected in the physical part, and that's how your brain actually is wired, etc. So there is that stuff. There is a lot. There is a lot, and I believe that I have so many that any person can be taken from. In a very short period of time, can get a huge leap on that human development across all of the ways in which a person grows in a very short period of time. And I want to invite you to learn that from me, because I see the huge power of these maps. I want to share, and I'm sharing. And I'm sharing. So this is an invitation to join my academy, where I take people through these maps, I explain them. We walk on the spiritual path together. I show you these maps, I explain these maps to you, I teach these maps. We together, well, actually everything happens together. It's not that there is like a clear, I think it's an environment, it's an academy, you know, everybody learns and teaches one another. And then, but the vector is that human development happens together, so that then each one of the people that I want to be in that academy actually becomes like a superpowered version of themselves, by using those maps. And at this point, I am very confident in what I'm saying, so I'm inviting you as one of the very first people that hopefully will join this academy. Thank you for watching.